Welcome back to the Florida Trail. My journey now takes me out of the Three Lakes WMA and deeper north towards Christmas, Florida. The changing weather means winter is officially here. The lower temperatures are great for hiking,
A cold Florida winter day.
but they certainly intensify the challenge of those frequent water crossings. Despite the discomfort, this section is a huge payoff. I'm immersed in scenery unlike anything else I've seen on the trail so far. And what a year for the trail. While I battle the cold and wet here, our SOBO hikers are facing record snowfall in the Panhandle. This new section is full of raw adventure, and I can't wait to share it all with you. I headed out on a perfect morning in the Three Lakes. After topping off my water bottles at the camp's pitcher pump and fueled by the crisp morning air, I was ready to push on to Little Scrub in the Herky-Huffman Bull Creek WMA. I'm now deep into my thru-hike journey. My body has fully adjusted to the trail's demands, and I was now settled into a daily rhythm where things just felt routine.
I overslept today. I usually am on the trail about 6:45 to 7. For some reason today I didn't wake up until, oh gosh, what time was it when I woke up? It was pretty late. At any rate, it was a big spider web. I didn't get on the trail till about 7:45 this morning, so I have breakfast on the go. I like getting on the trail around that time because it's still cool, and you get halfway or most of your hike done before it starts getting warm later in the day, and especially if you're in the areas where there's not a lot of trees, less time exposed to that. It's been working out well. Some cows up here. Sorry, Mama. Sorry to interrupt breakfast. Oh, there's another one over there. This will be a good spot. This is where the breakfast buffet is. Pancakes, maple syrup, butter, bacon. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Some grits. Fortunately, the way that these guys went is the way that the trail goes. Looked like they were looking to hop on trail too. That's hilarious. This is like the school bus stop. I'm trying to get away from these guys so I don't keep bothering them, but they keep going where I'm going. Hey, Mama. Babies are cute. I need to go by though. Can I go by? No, they're going on the trail again. Always love these loblolly trees. They're not much to look at right now, but they get a real pretty white flower on them. Kind of similar, I guess, to a magnolia.
The Florida Trail includes about 300 miles of road walking, and this section had its share. However, this particular road walk was actually beneficial because it led me directly to the Nitwa Station. Once part of Henry Flagler's Florida East Coast Railway, Nitwa was a stop on the railroad that ran from Weehawhoody to Okeechobee. Nitwa became a sawmill town, maintaining a small population and post office. The closing of the Okeechobee rail line caused the abandonment of Nitwa. The FT is steeped in history, and Illawa stands out as one of the fascinating historical spots I got to pass through today. Illawa was a small turpentine operation located near the Florida East Coast Railway and was owned by Henry Flagler. It had a post office in 1923, which was closed in 1935. Once the pine trees were all cut down, the mill closed. Railroad services ended in 1947.
Good kitty. Must be good kitties. It's a drizzly morning today. It's actually the first time I've had to use the frog tog. Everything got packed up wet this morning. Hopefully we get to dry it out later. Yeah, it's still pretty dark. It's a neat little fun fact here, as my son calls them. Union Cypress Company Logging Railroad came through here from 1912 to 1932. Wow. Yeah, there was a big turpentine industry throughout this area, and a number of rail stations, which I'll talk about in the video. I got some footage of some historical markers that I passed on part of my road walk yesterday that covered it pretty extensively. And that's just some of the neat history that Florida has early on, and what the railroad did to really develop Florida, because before that point there was very little and very few people that inhabited here. I mean, it was mosquito infested, ticks. It was hot during the summer, a lot of humidity, and before air conditioning allowed us to live in areas that we now inhabit. I don't think most people would live in the areas they live now without air conditioning, and how that alone changed the population densities of different states and areas. Anyways, the railroad was pivotal, and with Henry Flagler, all that went a long way into bringing people from the Northeast to down here. And I think we're actually walking on the remnants of this railroad, because if you look just over here, it's very low. And if you look just over here, it's very low. And this would be about the width of the railroads. And it is making a nice path for us this morning. It's a little soggy everywhere. We got some rain last night, and that combined with just the morning dew that we've been having, The sun hasn't had a chance to come out and wisp away all the moisture. And this is kind of a lowland. And we passed a couple sloughs already. So this is just nice to have because it speeds you up. You know, your pace is a lot quicker just on this kind of terrain. Yeah, pretty cool. Walking on history. One thing I've noticed in this section is a lot of these crossings they have through these slough areas are partially destroyed or damaged. Yeah. It's interesting because in the other sections they were in good or excellent condition. All these swamp maples are pretty in here, with their colors still changing. Beautiful. Somebody cut their pant legs off. Interesting. Oh, this has been the day of bridges and water crossings for sure. This is one of the more substantial ones so far. We have multiple. Wow, look at the size of these cypress knees. Huge. Oh, a lot of work went into these bridges. Oh, beautiful area. Looks like we have one more still.
My hat is off to the Florida Trail Association and all the volunteers. Their dedication to maintaining the trail and constructing these essential bridges and elevated walkways is incredible. And without their work, this trail would simply not be the experience we enjoy today.
The things you come across on the trail. Alright, so it says Florida trail hikers, please notify office upon entry or leaving the WMA. I tried calling a couple times and it just rings. Nobody's answering the phone. So that's all you can do. We've had significant weather roll in with temperature drops. 30s at night, 40s during the day. And actually, north of here in the Panhandle, they got like 6.5 inches of snow. Some significant snow, which is cool in a way. It's the first time it snowed in Florida in quite a while. I think since the 80s. It would have been cool to get that footage. It doesn't happen very often, but oh well. We're in the cold, just the cold, wet area, not the cold, snowy area. But yeah, I look forward to seeing some of the posts and the videos from backpackers up there. I already saw Jupiter Hikes. He's up there, and looked like a winter wonderland for sure. But yeah, cold, dreary last couple days, and it's supposed to get sunny after today, I think. So we'll have the sun back again. Wow, that's a heck of a poop. Little game trail here. Nothing like this on a cold Florida winter day. Oh yeah. We're way up to the calves. Bringing back memories of Big Cypress, but way colder. Yeah. Ooh, that's cold. Wow. That was a bit of a slog through the Tallahatchie WMA, but you will find lots of water, which is nice. That's one of the good things about this trail, is you don't have to carry a lot of water because you're always around water. Wind is gusty today. Pretty cool how these trees, these palmettos die off, and or even the regular trees die off and then leave a little cavern there. Looks like a caldera almost. Going through a pretty cool area here. Some scrubs and pine, some oak. Very lush and thick back in here. Seen some evidence of the hogs, but it hasn't been terrible like down by Kissimmee Prairie. It's just so green in here with the ferns. Coming through some amazing old growth trees, and I think this is a cedar tree, but it has to be one of the biggest cedar trees I have ever seen. It's enormous. I mean, just the diameter of this is absolutely incredible. And that's the worst thing about the camera, is you can't get perspective and scale very well. But I can't even imagine how old this thing is. Wow. This section of trail is just so cool. Waiting for like an Ewok to jump out, or it's like a scene out of one of the planets in Star Wars. Wow, these logs are like so slick. Probably could have just walked through it, but I don't know. I like the challenge and trying to get these drier as much as I can, because I don't think they're going to dry much overnight, just because of the temperature and dampness. So probably an act of futility. Definitely haven't seen anything like this environment here anywhere else on the trail so far. So it's really cool, not only because it's beautiful, but it's just so different than a lot of the other areas and environments that you've seen. So it just makes it exciting, something new to experience. It's just so impressive with its greenery, you know, and the just diversity of stuff in here. Very cool. Enjoying this part a lot. And it's knocking the wind down, all these trees. It's knocking the wind down substantially and making the temperature much more comfortable than earlier on. So this is what's so crazy, is the color of this fungus or moss, whatever it is so similar to this. Crazy. It's like almost copying the color. Starting to get some rain now. This should be the last day of it. We have here the Tutushachi Creek Angel Bridge. Very nice. Oh, beautiful spot.
The cold really set in as I hiked through the small town of Christmas. Knowing my camp was close, all I could think about was eating, shedding my damp layers, and burrowing into my warm tent.
It's pretty cool. The trail has been following this snaking creek. Nice little sandy bottom. I just filled up my water in it. We're getting close to where we're going to camp tonight, so I went ahead and just filled up one of my bottles. Rain's still going. Hopefully it'll let up at least long enough to get situated and set up. It's supposed to be a pavilion, which is going to be nice tonight with the rain that the Florida Trail Association has replaced. I was looking on the comments and it said that it was last year that the roof had caved in and I guess just wasn't in good shape. So the reports are now that it's been replaced. So hopefully that's the case. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we have made it to the campsite. And the roof has been repaired, which is perfect for a day like today. It's okay. It's dry enough for camping, and it has the pavilion. I just wish there was a little bit more tree cover for maybe block a little bit of the rain, but there are enough shrubs and trees to where it is going to knock the wind down, which is nice because the wind is supposed to get to, I think, 15 or 20 miles an hour at some point. So we're going to take it for the night. Feels like the temperature has dropped since I got here and got set up. I just didn't feel like cooking tonight, so I just made some tortillas and peanut butter and honey. But I got my dry socks on now. That's helping. I'm gonna throw on my puff, set up the sleeping bag, and we're under a winter advisory here. They're expecting it to get as low as 28 with the wind. So I'm gonna get bundled up and call it a day, and see y'all in the morning unless something exciting happens. All right, we got everything packed up. I think we're gonna be heading out. This part is looking like it's gonna be pretty muddy. I would think that all the rain that we've gotten isn't gonna help, but I've been looking at the comments from past backpackers heading that way, and it looks, or it sounds like it's going to be quite a trek today. So let's get out there and see what we find. Thanks for joining me on this Florida Trail through hike adventure. Make sure you check out the other videos in this series, and please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you on the next one, where the journey is the adventure.